Good morning, America. My name is Brad, and I'm an alcoholic. No, I'm just kidding. That's not how I'm gonna start this. I was just like, I mean, I am, but it's not what this whole thing's about. Recently I've had a lot of weird things happen to me, and I have found a lot of solace in talking about it. I've gotten messages from people who have found solace in knowing people are sharing struggles that may or may not be better at hiding it than others. Not saying which side of the fence I'm on that one. I'm just stating what I have observed. Now I have about, I'd say at least 29 hours of some pretty wild content that I have video journaled way before today, way before my incidents that for if you would like to see them, just let me know and I'll send them your way. They're not quite safe for work, but they are fun, and some of them are sad and implementing and this and that. But for the most part, I'm doing this for me. I enjoy doing it. I hope y'all enjoy me doing it. Uh, Today, I hopefully am. I started a new job. Maybe it's my first salary job, so I don't really know how that works. Like, I mean, I'm training, but they're like, hurry up, so we got to start paying you. I'm like, all right, but being on salary, I just don't know how it fucking works. To be honest with you, I've never really had a job that paid over like 16 or 17 bucks an hour, so it's like, um, you know, uh, it is new to me. Funny thing is, the day before, the day I got this job, I got the phone call that solidified that had in fact gotten the position, which it's a position, um, and it's really cool. I travel all over the country. I fly. Um, Obviously, I drive. You know, all paid to go and program interactive lighting structures and things like that for I guess it's an amusement park. It's a it's a pretty cool little gig. It's actually like right up my alley, so I'm excited about it. Um, I'd say 8 hours later, I was paralyzed. I think that like they called me, to solidify the job. Uh, I drank. I ate some Xanax or something. I don't know what I did. And I remember waking up at my computer chair on the ground in front of my computer chair, more or less, and I couldn't move my arm. I couldn't move my legs from the kneecaps down, and with multiple sclerosis, that's not unheard of, but it is. When I was diagnosed 3 years ago, it usually takes probably about 15 years or so to really get to that caliber of problems. So it was a bit of a surprise to me and a lot of other people. And I reached out on Facebook, which is not something I do. I've been diagnosed for about 3 years, but I haven't really been super vocal about it. I have, I mean, I've mentioned it. I haven't hidden it from anyone. Nobody wants to hear people bitch and complain all the time, so I did not do that. But everybody reaches a certain amount of desperation, and then there's nothing wrong with that. I've learned humbly that asking for help is okay. You know, uh, I really wanted to touch base with one problem that I do have with being in a wheelchair so far, or two problems. The first one is the bathroom. Fuck. It's like when I'm in the bathroom, washing my hands, brushing my teeth, whatever, not an inkling. It's like I only have to pee when certain things are of utmost importance to finish at that very moment. Like and they're not important things, but it's just like I want them done. So it's finished more or less. So it's like I'm trying to open up, like a a bag. Like today, I was trying to open up a bag of strawberries, and like I was so close. Like my hands, my fingers, my dexterity is kind of off. So it's like I was getting so fucking close, and then right when I get like that first little like my fingernail under the little lid thingy, I get that burn. That not burn like the clap burn, but burn like you know, it's time. And my bladder now, and it's been this way since the pre uh pre-COVID, I'd say probably. Um, Once I feel like I have to pee, I have about 2 minutes to pee, and then I am going to pee. Doesn't matter where, when. Well, when's not really the point, but where. Either I'm gonna fuck someone's floor up, or I'm going to catch a charge for pulling my penis out in front of kids or a family or something in a restaurant or something like that because you know I'm tired of fucking doing laundry every day because of that reason. So that's my first complaint. I refuse to just wear diapers all the time. I'm not that. I'm not incontinent. I just am simcontinent. Does that does that make is that that's not definitely not a word, but I can tell which way it's leaning, only one way or the other, and and right now I'm simcontinent. So I've gotten better at. Used to I would feel it and be like, oh, I can make it, and I can hold it a couple ways, and sometimes I could, but you know it's an ebb and flow, and recently that time clock the doomsday clock has gotten closer and closer to midnight, and taking a lot less time to get there, and that's upset me a little bit, and I don't like getting upset at the disease. I mean, it has its ups and downs. No, it does not. No pun intended. But I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. But I'm not gonna let it get a hold of me like that. Second, is why the fuck can't all of the Earth? No, no, let me rephrase that. What's the point of curbs? Maybe this is an actual question, but I don't see the point in a fucking 3 foot elevation, or not a 3 foot, like a 4 or 5 inch elevation in the concrete of of everywhere. Now I get some places have foundational issues, and they need some kind of fuck. I'm not a construction worker or whatever, or contractor. I don't know why a curb is needed or not needed, but I can tell you why it's not needed actually. It's not needed for people that are in wheelchairs at the moment. And do I plan on being in this wheelchair for a long time? No, I don't. Um, I'm now starting to question if the reason why I'm in the wheelchair in the first place is even because of MS or because of an infection I have in my left leg from other stupid shit that I do that we'll get onto later on in a different video or something else. But if I was to wake up one morning and think today's the day, I'm gonna drive down the road till I find a group of just a large group of people that I'm gonna fucking take them out. I'm gonna go 65 or 70. And I'm just gonna go right into them, mow as many as I can down, hop out the car. I guess I need to go out shooting or shoot my. I don't know. I don't know what people do after they get done mass murdering, but it usually involves killing themselves because if not, somebody else is gonna kill them. Uh, what I know has never happened is someone was approaching an area and saw a curb and was like, "Well, never mind. Scratch that hole. That hole. I did not see that curb coming. I did not, I did not put that into the variables of my plan. Those people are safe today by that curb. That curb that's just tall enough to fuck the bottom of your car up and my day up, and that's it. I don't see what's wrong with like the other things or just lines. I mean, if I look to my right and I see that my window is pretty even with the window next to me, then I'm pretty confident that I'm close, at least close enough out of out of the way of other cars that are trying to get through wherever parking lot or whatever that I'm going through. So it's it's pretty easy, I think, to get through life without curbs. Now, with every curb comes a wheelchair ramp. I say that lightly. I'll give you a good example today. I was going to a place of business and I parked and I lugged my wheelchair out, fucking my car up in the process like usual. I looked around for a wheelchair ramp. It's like a little outlet mall. And so I was looking for the ramp, and the ramp, like, it didn't. I live in Austin, so I mean, the ramp. I mean, this was a pretty big outlet mall, not outlet mall, strip mall, and the ramp was in front of Party City. There's like at least five major highly corporation or highly corporated at high traffic area, like stores people go to in this place. And then there's a fucking Party City, which I didn't even know still existed. And the wheelchair ramp was in front of Party City. So like, I guess they assume that handicapped people. Like I can hear the contract being like, by standards, we gotta have a wheelchair ramp somewhere. Or where the fuck do cripples go? I mean, they don't go to the gym. They're definitely not going in there. So I mean, uh, they probably enjoy Party City. A lot of sit down games, a lot of things they can do, and and so, and so well, Party City is not where I was going, and it was not close to where I was going, and so I had to wheel my ass through this. You know, I don't have an all terrain wheelchair because I just got it, and it's more of like an apartment one. uh, Kind of just help get around the house and shit. And so I take it out very rarely. It's just a pain in the ass. And I had to wheel all the way over to Party City to uh, to go up the wheelchair ramp. And then I went into Party City. So maybe they were right. Maybe Party City paid them to put that there. I don't know. Cause I mean, once you get on the ramp, it's solid. It's flat ground. But I bet you that the entire place could have been equally as flat without collapsing. But I didn't realize until I got back in the car that I just got. Cause I enjoyed myself at Party City. That's high, man. I smoked a little weed before I went, and today's my first day without a drink, by the way, but not weed, not marijuana. I don't consider that a drug, and I will not stop it. But 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 I just like kind of rolled around Party City and looked at all the different shit, and they really stepped their game up with the party and the city part. Or at least at this one they had. It was relatively nice. As far as the three party cities I've been in my 31 years of existence. But I find it funny that I mean but and that's one example. I've been in the chair now for probably about a week, and I found that not one wheelchair ramp has been. Hell, where my apartment, they don't even, I don't think they even think handicapped people exist. I mean, it's uphill both ways uh, to get to all the apartments. I mean, people look at me like a fucking crazy person when I'm like, I have to go and do laundry and this and that. And I live on the second floor because I was not in a wheelchair when I moved into this apartment, and and it's just funny to watch people watch me, not knowing I'm watching them. It's like a dream within a dream, you know. It's fucking wild. At first it pissed me off for a while. Not today, but just at the very beginning. And then now you just got to kind of find humor in it because if you don't, you, you just won't. You can't really get into it. The anger and the stuff like that. But it is a trip. No pun intended. No pun intended at all. I had I woke up this morning in a pretty bad mood, and I had my first like Zoom meeting or whatever with the HR manager for this company I'm starting to work for, and she had stage four, or she has, I think, like currently stage four cancer. So she kind of one ups me on that one, but it kind of gave me a nice segue into Well, yeah, I've got MS, and I almost felt like embarrassed. Like, should I, like, I'm not comparing it, but at the same time, it's like, I guess if any times to tell your boss that you have a progressive illness where your spine's eating itself, it's right after she tells you that her body's eating itself, I guess. I don't remember what kind of cancer she said she had, but I remember the word stage and 4 being mentioned. But the doctor had given her like 8 years to live or something like that, which should be fucking illegal. You should not be allowed, like, a doctor should not be allowed. Look, I respect the doctors as much as the next person does, but they are not God or whoever you believe in or whoever you don't believe in or whatever. They don't have the fucking right to tell you, hey, you have this much time to live, you know, because there's two different kinds of people. The kind of people that are gonna, you know, heed that and just pretty much give up, or live life to the fullest, or beat it to prove a point, and it's really a toss of a dice of what kind of person you are until you get the news, and then they end up. And there's just so many stories of people being like, "Yeah, I was told I had, blank hours to live, and then I lived for 85 more years." It's so crazy. And then there's stories of people who've been told like, "Oh, you're gonna live a great quality of life and stuff," and then they die 2 weeks later because they're just doctors. My neurologist is the epitome of a human sphincter muscle. Okay, like I called him today about some stuff, and he finally called me back. Everything that comes out of his mouth, I want to punch back into it. The only fucking, and I hope he knows what I'm talking. I hope one day, just this bit, just how it makes it to his stupid fucking ears. Everything he says is fuck, not the word, but just the concept. He like for one, you have to call his MA, who is this fat bitch that can't type fast enough to keep up with anything. First off, your job is to type. You type. So when I'm speaking to her, she's like, "You slow down, slow down." And I'm like, by the time that I'm done fucking explaining to you what's wrong with me, it's gonna either be fixed or I'm gonna forget. And then I'll pass it on to him, and then half the time I won't even get shit passed on to me. No phone calls back, no nothing. And like he's the fifth top ranked in the country actually, and he's based here in Austin. He's based here in Round Rock. So to help y'all narrow it down, if y'all end up with MS or something like that, Google Round Rock MS neurologist, and he's a very sly one. Let's see if you can figure that riddle out of who I'm talking about. And if you can hear me, fuck you. Anyway, his nurse practitioner is nice. She's cool. To have to deal with him, I'd swallow a fucking gun barrel. And the funny thing is like no matter how many books he reads, no matter how many patients he sees, I know more about MS than he does. You know why? Because I fucking have it and he doesn't. So he can take that fucking dick sucker of his and he can put it somewhere else because I don't fucking want it. One time he told me to put my phone on silent. My phone beeped. It was a Facebook notification and went bang. And he goes, put that on silent. I thought he was kidding. So then I looked at his face and realized it certainly was not joking. Um, I thought that was the most audacious, rude, bottom of the barrel, out of pocket bullshit you can say to anybody, especially going through something I'm going through at that time and at any time. You know, those are just a few of the things he's done. Today, I realized I think he has Asperger. He has an MD and a master's degree in philosophy or some shit. So I'm sure he's real fucking fun at parties. And today, I called him because I think I have an infection in my foot, and because he called me, he was like, I don't think what we're talking about. And I was like, well, can you write me a prescription for the infection? He's like, well, I don't feel comfortable. I said, well, I don't really care what you feel comfortable do. I'm not comfortable ever. You know? He's like, are you being sarcastic? So that told me right there he can't pick up on sarcasm. So he must have Asperger's or something. Or some kind of he's on the spectrum or something because like he can't pick up on social cues of like, hey, why don't you do me a favor and shut your fucking mouth, let me fucking talk for a second, and you just listen, and then you make your decision based on what I say. Because when I would try to explain to him, just kind of recapping, yeah, I know, like, he wants me to start off by, what do you want me to do? Because he thinks that he's been debriefed on everything by his stupid, fat fuck, piece of shit medical assistant that can't type, that she's somehow managed to pass along some fantastic, efficient, like, didn't miss one thing message onto him for a phone call 6 hours later. So, there any doctors out there? Stop telling your patients when they're gonna fucking die. Stop assuming you know what they're talking about. And if you do know what they're talking about, let them finish. Because, you know, they, maybe they just want to talk about it first, and then that way they know you get the full spectrum of everything. Just a thought, you know, keep your mouth shut. At least try to muster up some kind of uh, you know, bedside manner or whatever. Because I'm telling you, dude, one more time that guy talks to me the way he does, and I'm gonna knock that fucking PhD right out of his goddamn mouth. I'm telling you. I am telling you right now. It is. It's a wonder I haven't already. But I'm not that confident in my fighting skills, but I don't think he is either. Um, but other than that, I mean, I guess it was a good day. It was a lot of just like reading handbooks of new job shit. You know how all that goes, and talking about stuff that, my boss doesn't even know I'm in a wheelchair, because I wasn't when I accepted the job, and I don't think I will be by tomorrow the next day once I get my medicine tomorrow delivered here. It's just my left foot's like swollen up real bad, and that's not like an MS symptom. I think it's like like I said, like an infection or something, but it still hurts like a bitch. And I mean, he's like, I don't feel comfortable. I don't give a fuck what you feel comfortable doing, dude. Actually, I wasn't gonna ask him to write it, but he said I'm gonna do this. So you are you asking me to do it, even though? And I was like, yeah. I actually write a refill and sign your name in all caps, and I hope they fire you. Which, meaning, I don't wish the worst on anyone but him. I really do. The only reason I go and see him is because the only other person in this town that is an MS specialist neurologist uh, is a experimental one, and I don't think that they would probably accept me because of the damaged goods situations. I've had a couple of bouts with drug-induced schizophrenia, being in the ICU for about 3 or 4 days, uh, from drug detox. I mean, mostly everything I've caused is from drugs, but but I'm just telling you, dude, that guy wants this fucking smoke, and pretty soon, that may be how I get out the chair. Because if he just said two or three more words, I'd have got in my car somehow or another, drove down there, got out of this chair, and beat the fucking fuck out of him. Anyway, my name's Brad. I'm gonna start doing these because they make me feel better. Hopefully, they'll make some other people feel better. Reach out, you know, DM me, friend me on Facebook, all those 2021 things that you say.